Okay, I'm going to be telling you a story, flipping battle song. I'm actually trying to learn a move, so yeah, as you can see the tape around my finger, I cut myself. Didn't feel like getting a band-aid. You know, tape's the real man's band-aid, right? Wrong? Probably dumb since I can't feel the battle song as good as I could anymore, so what I'm going to be learning to do is the basic aerial that Cutlerylover. I was just watching his video before I started this. Because I was going to make a video flipping before I started the story, but instead I only know very little tricks, so I decided I'd learn arrow. Okay, let's get to the story now. I was in 3rd grade. I got my first knife, and it was nothing compared to this knife. Of course, this is like a $200 knife. I think it was about 200. Yeah. Well, this knife I got from my dad. He had it laying around in his closet, and he wanted me to have it. And since I'm a 3rd grader, why not? You know, 3rd grade, I can have whatever I want. You know, 3rd graders deserve knives. Well, he gives me this knife. It has like a really teeny blade, like we're talking that big, maybe, probably an 1.5 inch, 2-inch blade. It's a really small silver knife, and it resembles like a dog tag. That's what it really reminded me of, and it was like the coolest thing ever. I thought it was great. I acted cooler to my friends. I acted like I was really cool and tough. I was not. And when I got this knife, the first thing my dad told me was, "You're not taking it to school." Well, when you tell a kid not to do something, they probably are going to do it. So yeah, that was not a good decision on his part. Ow. There goes the tip again, right into my finger. That felt great. Anyways, so he's telling me not to take it to school, how it could be dangerous, blah blah blah, how they'll take it away and I'll never have it again. I'm like, okay, whatever. I'll just not take it to school. Until, like, I swear to God, the next day, a kid brings a knife to school. And it is the coolest thing, and everybody thinks he's so cool. I'm just like, oh my gosh, if that was me just a day earlier when I got mine, then I could have been the cool kid that everybody knew. Hey, there's Jeremy with his knife. I dropped it again. It just failed. Anyways, there's Jeremy again with his knife. And so yeah, I get into the 3rd grade, and the first thing I do is think, I'm going to be cool if I bring a knife to school. So this kid brings a knife, I bring a knife, he's showing it off at recess, and the next day I bring mine and start showing it off at recess, telling everybody about it. And me and my friends, what was that? Something just flew on my screen. Anyways, me and my friends go outside. There's this giant tree in the soccer field, and it is an amazing tree. I take it, and I just huck it up into the tree, and it sticks. I'm like, that's so cool, blah, blah, blah. We throw a ball, we get it down. Of course, you know, looking straight up at a knife, well, it's stuck, and it's going to fall. It's probably not the best strategy, but we did it. And so we wait for it to fall. It falls. We get it back. I'm like, this is so awesome. I got to do it again. I keep throwing it, and my friend throws it. He bounces it off the tree, almost hits himself, and we're like, this is really dumb. Why are we doing this? And so we decided we'd do it one more time. We'd go in, the bell rings. Okay, so I just launch it up into the tree. Like, absolutely, as hard as I can, launch it. And it goes up and over the tree. And this tree, when we're little, looks like the most biggest tree ever. Like, it should be in the Guinness Book of World Records for being the biggest tree I've ever seen in my life. And I launch it over the tree, and it goes somewhere, and we are searching for it like crazy, because we know if we don't find it, somebody else will. They'll fall on it, they'll cut themselves, it'll be bad. It's not a bueno situation. So we're freaking out, we're trying to catch it, and the recess lady comes up and goes, you guys have to go in, what are you looking for? I'll find it. And I'm like, nothing. We were looking for bugs, of course, you know, because that's what 3rd graders do. So we go in, and by the end of the day, the recess lady pulls me out and goes, so, the kids found a knife in the ground, and they want to know if it was yours. Because all the kids were like, I was showing it to them. I was like, you know, I'm going to be cool. Here's my knife. Here, take it and play with it. I was telling kids to play with my knife at the time, so it wasn't very smart. So the recess lady comes up to me and goes, is this your knife? And I just was the worst liar ever in 3rd grade, but for some reason she believed me when I said, no, it's that other kid's. And the other kid that brought his knife also had his actual knife in his pocket. So they're all like freaking out, and they talk to him, and they're still yelling at me because I'm just standing there looking like, oh my god, I just got caught. So he's yelling at both of us now, and I don't even know why I'm being yelled at, because I thought I got away with it. I thought my lie was perfect. And he's like, no, it's his knife. And I'm like, no, it's not. I've never brought a knife to school. Why did I do that? I'm not stupid. And this lady looks me straight in the eyes and goes, is this your knife? I'm like, nope. Like, in the most jerk, kind of threatening way, like sarcastic almost. I'm just like, nope. And she goes, alright. And she goes to the kid and she goes, we're calling your parents, it's all over. And then he's like, my knife's right here in my pocket. And they freak. Now, I live in Utah, so, you know, I guess there's something against weapons or something. Even though we're allowed to have weapons like battle songs, like the laws aren't as strict on weapons. But when he said he had the knife in his pocket, they freaked out. They thought he was going to actually attack them with it. So they actually ran away to the office, of course, because that's where the officers always are at schools, is usually in the office, just chilling, doing what they do. And when a fight breaks out, they're there, and they're just like, hey guys, and they, you know, they do their business. Well, they freak out, they run to the officer, and I wasn't there now because I ran back in, and I was like freaking out, because I guess it kind of made me think that he was going to pull a knife on me or something, I don't know. For some reason, I go back into my teacher, I sit down, I act like nothing happened, and he's out there, and I hear the cop just screaming at the top of his lungs at him, like, freeze and stuff, and I'm like freaking out. At the time, it was like the most scary moment ever. I thought he was going to shoot the kid. I was like, oh no, no, I got this kid killed, it is all for my knife. I was about in tears, and my teacher comes up to me and goes, Jeremy, what's wrong? And I'm like, nothing's wrong at all. Nothing. What are you talking about? What do you mean what's wrong, silly? And I just go about my day, and that whole time I was missing my knife because it was the coolest thing. My dad gave it to me, it was special, I loved it, I wanted to keep it for forever. But I just couldn't bear losing it, and I was so mad. I was going to tell the teachers that I lost it and it was mine, but they did not. Like, there's no way I would have gotten it back, and I knew that, and I went home the first night and I cried. I couldn't help it. I was crying. I missed my knife. It was the coolest knife ever, and I knew I shouldn't have taken it to school. My dad told me not to, but I did it anyways, and that was just like one of the worst days of my life. Like, to this day, I remember almost every detail of that day just because that was my knife, man. That was the first knife I ever got, and I blew the chance. I'm such a terrible person. I took a knife to school, and I risked it, and I lost it, and just the whole rest of my night, my day, holy crap, my life. Got a mix of all the words there. I just hate remembering the fact that I took it to school and lost it because I wish I still had the knife. Like, it's a really cool day when you get your first knife. Even if you bought it yourself, it's just an amazing feat. And that's pretty much my story. I mean, it wasn't that good, but I don't usually tell stories, so yeah. Thanks for watching. This was my story. I'm still sad about that knife. I mean, I wish I had it today so I could show you, but of course the officer confiscated it. I'm sure it's in evidence, or he probably took it home and let his son have it. Here, son, I took this off of a kid at school. Why don't you take it to school and get it confiscated by another officer that'll give it to his kid? No, I'm kidding. Officers don't do that. They'd never. Yeah, that's it. Bye.